Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Wild Savannah video. This time we are going to play with one of the most successful hunters in the savannah, the wild dog. These animals are known to exhausting their prey and eating them alive, making them ruthless, merciless little creatures if you compare them to the hyenas. So today I decided to play this animal in Wild Savannah if it really fits the description. So without further ado, grab your popcorns and let's jump straight into the video. We start our little journey walking through the savannah, through the day and through the night, not knowing what we would encounter. It was a very rough beginning, getting catch and almost killed by 2 leopards. The wild dog is a pack hunter, a pursuit hunter, and not a solo animal to be played like this. And as you know, in Wild Savannah, the king of the jungle is what rules the land, but we cannot forget that there are also other carnivores able to kill us. After surviving 2 leopard attacks, we stumble upon a solo zebra, a greedy catch for a unexperienced player like myself, because after all, every time I'm playing Wild Savannah, you can almost tell that it's my first time playing the game overall. So as we play, we also learn how to hunt. This was a very greedy play, because 1 kick from the zebra and that would probably knock us out to the underworld. But you know me, always in look of big catches and big glories. But we also have to be smart in our hunts. Do we prefer to hunt a bigger animal or maybe a smaller animal that could raise our chances of winning? So we decide to change our focus into a topi, thinking that this would be a walk in the park. Now I do have to go off script a little bit because I don't know what's with the hitboxes ranges in Wild Savannah. I will assume that this is because of the server lag, but sometimes it can provide an unrealistic feeling. It was time for us to put our skills into test. But I soon realized that hunting a solo topi, especially experienced one, wouldn't really be that easy. My goal here was to try and get the rear paw, but because the wild dog does not have a turning animation or dodge animation, it makes flanking a little bit difficult. That was not good. Already down to 8% of health. One more attack and that would be the end of a wild dog. But because I took this time to try and see how the mechanics work, I decided to risk it all. We had to be very careful on the topi charge, because one hit and that's it. So I had to stay always on the move, hoping that my HP would regen. The topi tried a fake runaway. I knew perfectly that once I got closer, he would turn around and headbutt me. But unfortunately, I did a fatal mistake. Not having a dodge mechanic really impact some ways of this hunt. And I won't take slightly the taunt and the teabag that the topi did. So with that, I decided to try once more and get better at hunting. It was time for us to put some practice because I got humiliated by a topi and also disrespected, which I don't tolerate. So it's time for us to find something to train on, either a carnivore or even a herbivore. That's when we found this little cheetah. But I don't know why. Wild dogs should be able to bite and kind of latch into the carnivores, but they don't do that. So it was a very good practice of movement. Not knowing if we were really doing any damage to the cheetah, I decided to harass her for a few minutes. Such as she kinda didn't really care anymore, and then a leopard joined the fight. Although some of you might look this as pointless, this was actually a good way of me to get familiarized and comfortable with the controls and the movements. But don't worry, although I was being a little bit a annoyance to the cheetah, I decided to let her leave and we part ways, finding finally a true animal to hunt. A few meters away, we stumbled across a perfect herbivore, the one that would fit our diet the most. An adult impala. Now because we lost our battle with the topi, I had to be very careful with this impala. This would be test number 1, to see if all of that movement, all of that practice, was it worth it? The more that we latched onto that impala, I realized that there were a few hitboxes that we could hit, and I found the perfect one, avoiding being kicked and also avoiding being stabbed by the horns. I was finally getting the hang of hunting, but the battle was not over, because if I got careless, I would eventually die again. I latched into what I would call the sweet spot, and I was finally able to bring that prey to the ground. Now we had another problem. I was able to exhaust our prey and bring it to the ground. But now, how do I kill it? How do I eat my reward? As I know, wild dogs usually eat their prey alive. And I kind of forgot that Wild Savannah has that implemented, but it took me a few minutes to realize that. So after 5 minutes of trying, I finally learned how to kill and eat my prey. For those wondering how you do that, you basically need to exhaust your prey, and once she's on this stance, you just have to press E and you will eat her alive. And eventually, she will die, and then you can eat everything. After passing test number 1, I was feeling brave and able to hunt almost anything because I got finally used to the mechanics and to the movements. But for now, it was not really time for us to fight other carnivores. If you guys are really enjoying this video, make sure to hit that like and subscribe because it helps the channel a lot. But with that, it was time for us to switch to server number 2 in search of newer people and newer preys. On server 2, I was very confident, and now it was time for me to try and pass test number 2 to see if that was all luck or if I actually improve a little bit. So I saw a solo zebra and I tried my luck to see if I could bring it down with the knowledge and skill that I had. I was able to hit the sweet spot once again, avoiding getting hit by those deadly hoofs. I was trying to latch myself as long as I could to try and see if I could drain the stamina of the zebra, but unfortunately a random hyena decided to intervene and spoil our hunt. I was a little bit upset because this was my hunt and this was my prey. I don't have any problems in people third-partying because I do believe that's how it works in the real life, so I have no problem whatsoever. But I don't want to get help by a different species, making this a little bit of unfair to the player zebra. So I decided to let them go off on their own and maybe later on challenge the hyena or maybe challenge the zebra, or maybe hoping that the hyena would leave the zebra alone so that I could continue our hunt. And after a few minutes, a wild topi decided to approach. So I had to decide on which animal to hunt. We finally exhaust the zebra, but that hyena was not leaving it behind, attacking almost every herbivore that I was going to attack. I decided to just leave that zebra to the hyena and chase the topi, because after all, wild dogs and hyenas don't really share food. So I started to pursue the adult topi. Until coming across with an unexpected animal. I was now getting pretty decent at hunting, and I could only imagine how would the hunts would be with at least 5 adult wild dogs. While I was chasing a bunny, I saw in the distance a solo buffalo. So I had to ask myself, would I be able to bring this big animal down? Not before getting interrupted by a cheetah. The buffalo quickly showed the cheetah who was the boss, killing her with just a few attacks. This was too much for a solo wild dog to chew, but I had to put my skill up to works. So for the first few seconds, I decided to see how the buffalo moved before getting attacked and almost killed in the process. That was very nice played, anticipating my move. With only 2 HP of health, I had 2 choices. Either run or continue to attack until we managed to kill this adult buffalo. So I resort the old tactic of speed and circles in hopes of exhausting the buffalo. This was a battle of bluffs and fakes. One wrong move and I would be dead. Until I eventually managed to hit the sweet spot. I had confidence. With time and patience, we could bring this buffalo down. Because after all, he was already tired from the previous battle and from dodging. But sadly, our fight got interrupted by a hyena, leaving me no choice to just leave the area and try another time. On our final server, things were going to be a lot more fun, because here we found another wild dog. With 2 wild dogs, we were now able to hunt almost anything. But before that, we had to take care of a hyena problem. Because this was a pointless fight, we decided to just run away as far as we can to make sure that the hyenas would not follow. But they were very persistent. They followed all the way until we had no choice but to use the lion prides as distraction. We were having a lot of fun until a solo lion decided to challenge us. I know that probably to a lion we do not really that much damage, but with numbers we were going to be a problem. We were so persistent that even a leopard decided to join the fight. Overall, it was fairly fun to play the wild dog. Although this animal is not really meant to play solo, with numbers it can be actually pretty fun. And I know that the recode is coming up, so this animal will be changed a lot, and I'm eager to try it out in the future. If you guys ever want to join me in my videos, make sure to join my Discord, which link will be down in the description below. Sometimes I reach out for people to help me out make videos, so if you ever want to show up in one of my videos, make sure to join the link down in the description. This was the African wild dog. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Hit that like, a comment for the YouTube algorithm, and make sure to hit that subscribe button because almost 80% of you are not yet subscribed. So thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you guys in a next video. Kiddo here. Peace.